Hi guys, another video. Right, today we're going to talk about the budget, big budget. Now, Labour's plan is to tax farmers, tax businesses, not in the conventional sense, but like through the back door, basically. Through national insurance, businesses will have to pay, and then obviously farmers' inheritance passing on their farm over 1 million. Right now, there's a couple of problems to this. Now, when it comes to national insurance raising that, there's a couple of issues with that. Is that businesses will pass on that rise to, number one, they'll get rid of staff, or they just won't give the staff pay rises. Number two, they will higher prices in their shops and in hospitality shops. So everything will become more expensive, so then cost of living is going to be twice as worse than what it already is, because also big businesses like Tesco, like bigger shops like that, they're going to raise their prices, right? Now, it's competitive anyway, so they're not going to rise it too much because the competitors are going to obviously stay low too. But I think all the competitors are going to raise their prices, so then, essentially us the consumers are going to end up paying more for our shopping in the long run. And number two, I think self-checkouts in stores are probably going to be more of a thing, because stores ain't going to want to pay more national insurance, so they'll just get rid of staff, put self-checkouts in there, because they don't have to pay national insurance to self-checkouts, it's a machine. Look, I just think that the government is totally out of touch, and the government needs to understand that you need business to supply goods to consumers, which then make the business successful, and then the business pays tax, the employees pay tax. But the more you push on businesses, the more cost businesses have. Number one, the business will either close down, or number two, the business will move abroad to a country that is more liking to business. Now, the United States is very much, now Donald Trump is in power, liking to business. So the United States is a pretty good place to go and start business, to be honest, in the next 4 years. So the UK is not looking like a very good place to invest or start a business in the next 4 years, to be quite frank with you. And another point on what they also mentioned in the budget is getting people back to work. It's like this whole thing of people saying that they're off sick for depression, they're off sick for stress, and the government want to put pressure on these people, right, to get them back to work, because they don't believe in depression and stress as a valid excuse to be off work. Now, these people, right, if you push them, especially people with depression, you push them, then they end up doing something really silly, right? They end up committing suicide, right? So, I want to know, what will the government do if they push all these people back to work, right? And then the suicide rates go through the roof. And then we have a high population committing suicide because the government are taking away people's sick notes for depression and pushing them back to work, and then obviously work and the stresses that come with that make them even more depressed, which then makes them So I think there's a lot of problems that are going to occur, a lot of problems that are going to happen, and it's not good for the UK. We're definitely not going to get growth. We're definitely, I think the economists are very much wrong, and I think recession is probably going to come our way in the not too distant future. And I also think that inflation is going to go through the roof. I mean, it's good for my investing portfolio, because if the interest rate goes through the roof again, like inflation causes it to, then to be honest, it does my investments the world of good, like, because the interest rate on the UK Treasury bonds the interest will go through the roof, so I'll get more money. But so it's good for me. But it's not so good for businesses, and it's not so good for cost of living, to be honest. So fortunately, Kier Stammer's once again royally fucked up, and Labour has royally fucked up, and they've only been in power for less than a couple of months. So I dread to see what 2025 brings, to be quite honest. Let's hope